Hello and welcome to the Miami-Dade College School of Entertainment and Design Technology Professional Development course for Premiere Pro. The intention of this course is to train faculty members in the use of Premiere Pro, both faculty members that are teaching the software itself in Premiere Pro classes and instructors production courses that will be using Premiere Pro for students to complete project assignments in their classes. First thing we want to do is launch the software itself. I'm going to launch it down here from the taskbar as I am using this software in Windows. In the school we're going to be using Macintosh, and essentially this would be launching it from the dock there in Macintosh. Most of the keyboard shortcuts and the interface are exactly the same. I'm going to only note when things are different between Macintosh and Windows. Okay, this is the welcome screen. You can turn this off, but I suggest that you don't. I suggest you leave this on. One of the most important things that you're going to get here is when you get the software, and we're purchasing a software for each faculty member that will be taking this course. You'll get your own Adobe Creative Cloud account, which will require a username and password. Now, I've already logged in before using this software, so it's automatically populating this with my name. But if I had not been, I would need to go ahead and log in now. So I just come in here and you put your Adobe ID and your password, and that logs you into your Adobe Cloud account, and also all the settings that you may have had with Premiere when you used it before. Now, of course, there won't be any if you haven't launched the software, if this is the first time you're using it, but just go ahead and enter your Adobe account, so when you do change settings and whatnot, it will be saved in your Creative Cloud account. Inside the lab, when we have different students using the different softwares and the different computers that are in the Adobe Creative Cloud, they will come in each time, and even if somebody had forgotten to log off and they're still logged in with somebody else's settings, they can come here and go to use settings from a different account, and again they just input their own Adobe ID and password, and that's what you'll be training them to do. If you have used Premiere before, you will get this recent items list. These are projects that were recently worked on inside the computer. If the one you're wanting to work on doesn't show up here, you can click on Open Project and navigate to the hard drive area of the hard drive where you save that project. In our particular case, we're going to go ahead and start a new project. So this is the new project dialog box. The default is always untitled. You yourself, and also you want to train your students to never leave their project name untitled, otherwise the whole hard drive fills up with untitled projects, and there's no way to differentiate one project from another. This is a default in Premiere, and it's something you need to be aware of, that every time a project is created it needs to be given a unique name. Now, there's a location here where the project is going to be saved to. I've gone ahead and gone to a different hard drive. All of our computers in the lab all have a scratch disk, which is a media drive that's separate from the operating system drive of the computer. You'll see here on my PC that I'm working on, which again is the same thing as a Mac. Here's my local C, which on your Mac would be Mac hard drive. That's the operating system that contains the programs in the operating system of the computer. But then here is RAID. And the RAID is my scratch disk. That's where I'm going to be storing all the video files, the project files, and render files from the project, and that's where I've created this folder. So when I click on that, you'll see all the files and folders that are on the scratch disk, which is my RAID, and you'll see down here where I've created this project called Premiere, this folder I should say, called Premiere Pro Projects. So I'm going to select that folder, and you'll see that's where it's going to store this. Now, the particular project that we're going to start out with is gluten-free pizza, so we're just going to give it a name here. Now, what we're probably going to do for students is a convention that we've been using for many years, which would be last name first initial. So this would be Van Voris R, which my name is Reed Van Voris. So Van Voris R, and then the name of the project, which is gluten-free pizza. The next thing we have down here is rendering and playback. Adobe has come up with this technology called the Mercury Playback Engine, which allows for a reduced amount of rendering that has to happen. That's where the whole program has to stop and the effects and other things have to render or be created onto the hard drive. Well, Adobe has come up with this thing. If you have the correct video card, then that rendering, waiting for that rendering, just goes away. And if you have it, it will show up here as a GPU or graphic processing unit acceleration. If you have this, you always want to choose this because it will decrease the render times tremendously in working. But even if you don't have it, and this is grayed out, and you go with Mercury Engine software only, you'll still get pretty good performance out of Premiere, and it's still a very powerful editing system even without the Mercury Playback Engine. But always select Mercury Playback Engine if that is available. Now let's go back over here to the scratch disks again. This is normally, you'll notice if I go to the scratch disk, it goes to it defaults to go to the same folder as the project file. This is very convenient because it enables you to be able to do archiving and cleanup and all kinds of things, as knowing exactly where everything's all together in this one folder. You can, however, change it. You can put it in your documents folder, or if you want to choose your own folder for these files to go to, you just click on custom and then you navigate to the place where you want those files to go to and put them there. I'm suggesting that for the most part, once you create a project folder on the scratch disk and have it there uniquely for this project, that you just have all the video, audio, and preview files, including also the autosave files, go to the same as project folder there. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK. Now this is the Premiere Pro interface, but before we get into this, I just want to go down here to this little button here on the left, which again is your sync settings. This is the same type of settings that you had were presented to us in the welcome screen. This is where you can sync your settings after you've made some changes to the windows or buttons or the way Premiere is set up. You can also load settings from a different account here as you could in the welcome screen, clear the settings, or you can also have this other option here, which is manage sync settings. And when you open that up, it says what happens when you save the sync settings. You can save the preferences and settings inside of Premiere, the workspace layouts, that's how the windows are arranged, and the keyboard shortcuts. And when syncing, you also get the choice to be asked whether or not you'd like to sync, or whether you're always going to upload your settings to the new ones of whatever you've created, or always download settings that you have saved up on your Creative Cloud account. My preference is to have them asked, so I can decide whether or not I want to accept any changes or save Creative Cloud things that I've saved up on Creative Cloud. Another thing that we should ask our students to do, and just get in the habit of doing ourselves if other people are using these computers, is to go ahead and check this box that says automatically clear settings on application quit. What that does is it just zeroes out the settings, so the next person gets to load their own settings fresh instead of opening up the program and having it default to whatever the last user was. So it's a good thing to train yourself and students to check this box to keep it automatically clearing the settings every time the program is quit. Alrighty, now the next one is going to be go on to explain the interface.